Okay, so we're ready to start on the next chapter of this project, and that is plumbing from the air cart back to the different row units that are back there. So the first component, after it comes off the air cart, I guess I should say the first hurdle, is figuring out how to get the tubes across or plumbed through the fold where our toolbar folds. So what I'm going to do is I've got these right here. These are what they call quick attach couplings for when you would back up a air cart to a regular old 40 or 30 foot toolbar, and one side would be with the toolbar, the other side would be with the cart. Now most of the time these work great. You just click them in like that, fold them together like that, and there you go. Problem I had with them is when I was using my air cart basically just as a broadcast air boom type of unit in the colder months of October, November, and December, having those 2.5 inch tubes, usually 3 of them at a time, trying to maneuver those like this is almost next to impossible. Once you get them hooked up, you do not want to unhook them. Now for most people, when it's time to air seed, it's not a problem because you're having 60-degree days, not 40-degree days. At any rate, not even 40-degree days, but 40-degree nights that just in general, those tubes are not fun to work with. That's not the application we're going to do here. What I'm going to do, take those back apart. What I'm going to do is chop off this tab right here so that these can just kind of swing down like that when the toolbar unfolds, and then when it folds back up, swings away just like that. So first thing I got to do is come up with a mount for each side. So take you through the first side, and then I'll get the other one done. I'm just going to do that with some 2-inch square tubing. Going to be putting in 1/2-inch bolts for these. As you can see, they're larger bolts. Not sure why, other than that tubing wreaks havoc. Going back to what I said earlier. And what I'll do is have these set forward on the toolbar about 1 foot, and then have these uprights in that we can bolt these to them. So first things first, I got to drill 2 holes 7.5 inches apart. So put one there, put one down here 7.5 inches from that. And then once I do that, I'm going to make a slot front to back on that same center. And what that'll allow me to do is, once I get this welded on, I can fine tune this, left to right, maybe 1 inch on each side, so that this rubber seal is sealing tight against that cone right there. So at any rate, let's get started, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it is the date that a very famous president said would live in infamy. Some of you history nerds out there may know that is December 7th, 83 years ago today. So when we officially entered World War II. Kind of amazing to think about. That was already 83 years ago, but who knows if the world has actually learned any lessons in that time. But at any rate, we're back here on the strip till project. This is what we were working on inside in the a little bit warmer confines of the shop, and I got to get the other side on before I can hook this up to the air cart and then get it inside the shop and start working throughout the winter. But basically these were the pieces we were cutting and milling. These are those unions that are for quick coupling an air drill to an air cart. We're repurposing those, obviously. And basically all I'm doing, welding a piece of square tubing here at a slight angle, and then a piece of heavy flat stock pretty much straight. I think there's maybe a 2-degree angle there. Honestly, this one is the one that's got to be right, so that the split occurs right here out in the center, and that's just because of when this thing folds. It'll fold that out correctly and then bring it back correctly, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I talk like I used a CAD program or something to design this, and it's honestly not even chalk on the floor. It's well, let's see where this goes. But at any rate, I'm getting cold, so let's get the best heater in the world fired up, our welder, and just start going with this project. So the first piece we're going to weld on here is that square tubing, like I said, at the slight angle, and then that heavy piece of flat stock basically at whatever angle is required of it to be split in dead center. So let's get started.